Mabuhay, this is Bob from Love Beyond the Sea, a channel about marriage to a woman from the Philippines called the Filipina, like I did 8.5 years ago. Here's a comment on TikTok I want to talk about today. Please subscribe here, check out the playlist and on YouTube and my affiliate link for Christian Filipina, where I met my wife. This person here says, I live here. I'm not sure if he's talking West or the Philippines. I'm not a beta simp. I have a beautiful wife here. I only give money when I choose. Weak beta simps cause this because they act rich. So that's what I want to focus on in the short time I have today. Weak beta simps. They give money to women in the Philippines because they act rich. So apparently trying to impress them. And I think another comment, he adds the word pathetic. Weak beta simps. Now I don't subscribe to that. Now it is unwise to, in my opinion and many others, to give money to a woman from the Philippines if you're interested in marrying her someday, and you're getting on board, and right away you notice these women have these financial needs, virtually 100% of them, if they're giving you the time of day. And so naturally, if you have a kind heart, you're going to say, well, you know what? I've learned that some of these, the girls that make the most money might make $10 a day. And that's being looked up to. Many of them, $2, $3 a day. And some of them don't have jobs. And so out of the goodness of your heart, it's very understandable for a man who's living in a wealthy Western country to say, well, what's giving $50 or $100, because that's just not that much money. To me, I can spare it, but it means a whole lot to them. And the mindset of this person, I don't think, is being a simp or even trying to act rich. I think that's going a little bit too far and being judgmental. I'm going to give these men the benefit of the doubt of saying, look, I can help these women. I can help them. I want them to know I'm not stingy. I want them to know that I care enough to offer to help. And I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with that. The problem comes when that man may not be aware how prevalent scamming is in the Philippines. And it's very easy for a woman to play on his emotions and scam him out of money for a phone, usually, or it could be some medical bills or headset, or who knows, maybe even small plot of land. A relative maybe needs something, maybe a scooter. And so you see, it can be many, many different things. But he doesn't know that yet. So he says, well, sure, I'll get you a phone so we can chat. That makes sense, And, you need something there? Well, I'll let you know I care more than maybe some of these other guys you might be talking to, so I'll send you the money. And in his mind, he's not doing anything wrong. And inherently, he's not. It's just the other side of the coin that a lot of Filipinos will try to take advantage of him, and because he is thousands of miles away. And I've heard of women that will set up a meeting with a foreigner in the Philippines, Manila Airport, Cebu, and then the man shows up and she doesn't. That's something that happens. It's not uncommon, and it's unfortunate, because in that case she got what she wanted, which was the money from this man who just really wanted to help. But the wise thing to do is not do that. Wait till you get your feet on the ground with her and you're meeting her. You've spent a decent amount of time before you go, so that you already know some things about her. You've asked her some good questions, and see my questions on in the playlist on YouTube, or the lvbts.com site has up at the top, I think under resources, you can check out an excellent list of questions to help you to get to know this Filipina, so that when you do go to see her, you're not likely to see somebody that's going to be scamming you and just wanting your money. Do they all need the money? Yes, of course they do. In my opinion, none of them should ever accept it. If they haven't met first, and maybe he hasn't even proposed, so they're not engaged, I think it's best for her to say, no, I don't want to do this. And this guy mentions here they act rich. Well, if they are doing that, I don't know that they are, but if they do, a reason could be because they want to impress her. That it's like saying, hey, there's more where this came from. And maybe she's not all that crazy about him, but ends up marrying him for the money. And I don't think men want any woman to marry them for the money. I think they want them to marry them because they like the man. They'd like to build a future with that man. And so you can get into some real murky situations when you're sending money. But my point here is that, if you feel like you should give because you can, I still wouldn't do it, because it could end up hurting you. Not just breaking your heart, but you could end up marrying somebody that wasn't right for you and was only playing you. And for crying out loud, men have such a hard time recognizing when they're being played. Two of the problems that lead to that are sending somebody money and getting involved with them financially, because then you become attached emotionally and you start thinking you have something that maybe she doesn't think you have, or if they're involved sexually. I mean, those are two things to avoid, and the Filipina should say, no, don't want your money, don't need it, not interested in that. We'll see if we get along, but I can take care of myself. In a nutshell, that's the way I would look at it. And I'm sure I offered my wife some help financially, but we got married in only 54 days from the time I winked at her online on her first day. She didn't even have a profile up yet. It was later, probably within a day. And then 8 weeks later, less than 8 weeks, we were married. But we did communicate quite a bit, and I did go down there for the purpose of marrying her, not just to meet her. So I offered to help, of course, and she said no, until it was obvious to her that I was serious. I was going to go down there and meet her to marry her. So then we changed our plans, and we're still married 8.5 years later, so that has worked out. So let me know what you think about this comment. I'm going to push back a little bit that these men are all weak, pathetic beta simps that are acting rich. I don't think that's always the case. If you have helped by giving money to a woman from the Philippines, and you want to justify your reasons for doing that and how it worked out, good or bad, please leave a comment here on this video, and it'll be on TikTok first and eventually on YouTube, and then Rumble. It'll be on MeWe and Facebook and Twitter and BitChute. And there's another one, I think, Odyssey. It goes out on all of those because I like to get the word out to as many people as possible to see if they might be interested in finding love beyond the sea.